So what percentage of expectant parents have a preference as to the sex of their unborn child? It's 80%.
Welcome back to today's Rise Up with Sarah Beanie here, Terry Christian and Kay Adams. Still to come, would you miss men if we were gone?
See ya!
Just a deafening silence apart from the lady in my ear going, no, no. You'd be bound to miss something, surely. 0207 173 5555. That's the number for your thoughts. First, though, a big subject and one that's rarely discussed on TV. I don't think we've ever done it before on this show, 9 years, and that is if you wanted a baby girl kept having boys, would you keep going till you get what you wanted? And what if that never happened? These days, 2/3 of mums and dads are told the sex of their baby before it's born. Half, almost half, I should say, are disappointed by the news. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awful.
So what do? Do you try again and hope to get the result you're after? Well, sadly, the stats don't really work in your favour because doctors will tell you whatever sex your last baby was, there's actually a 75% chance the next will be the same. It's not 50-50. And you only have to look online to see how disappointment can affect mums and dads. Gender disappointment, they call it, characterised by feelings of guilt and disappointment. Feelings the mums and dads often can't talk about. I can get... Do you need hankies? I can do hankies. You all right?
No.
Now, Vicky and Dave Beckham, they already have 3 sons, but Posh has made no secret of the fact she'd love a girl, so she can dress up in fox and shoes and stuff like that. So, let's say they try for another, but they don't get what they want. That will be 4 boys. 4 children. What then? Do they go again and again and again? What if they don't get what they want? Will you love all those kids that come along in between, all the other boys? How long would you keep trying for? Spare a thought for the Laycocks. Mum Sally desperately wanted a boy after a succession of daughters and kept trying. After baby number 3, that was Emma. Then came baby girl number 4, Lauren. Then baby girl number 5, Charlotte. Sophie was baby girl number 6. Shannon, baby girl number 7. Baby girl number 8, they called Jessica. Baby girl number 9 was Katie. And then, bingo! Baby number 10 turned out to be a little boy they called Lewis. Well, thank heavens for that. But while you're all cheering, I'm just thinking that's over £1,000 in baby sponsorship money that Gordon Brown gives them that I have contributed to.
And poor Lewis, he'll never get to watch the football, will he?
No. His life will be ruined by all those baby girls. Sarah, you are about to have your 4th. We know it's a boy. 4 boys in a row. Would you have liked to go?
Do you know, I think that's amazing, because I think you want what you get. And
oh, I know people that have definitely tried to get what they want.
There are quite complicated things that people do to try and engineer. And someone the other day said you could go to America and get some kind of procedure done. It's a sort of an equivalent of IVF, but to choose the sex of the child. And personally, I sort of think if you're lucky enough to have a healthy baby, then you're... I mean, so lucky. If you're lucky enough to have 1 healthy baby, you're the luckiest person in the world. If you can get 2 healthy babies, that's... I mean, what the sex of it is a bit irrelevant. I think it's amazing that anyone actually cares that much. And
but when you first fell pregnant for the 4th time, before you knew the sex of it, was there a little bit of... Did you have a discussion with your husband? A girl would be nice this time?
No. Well, yes, of course, we talked about it.
Yeah.
But secretly, I think... It would have been a bit disappointing if it was a girl, because I've got a house of boys now, and I sort of think, actually, you know, I don't... I mean, as I say, I think it's difficult not to want what you get. Really.
We didn't even want to know what sex it was, you know, because it can tell you at the scan. And we didn't want to know, because in a weird way, it's like you'd be ringing up your mum or whatever saying, oh, he's arrived or she's arrived, but this way you can go, oh, it's a boy or it's a girl, and that kind of thing.
We did find out with all of them, but only because I find it really weird to have this thing growing, not knowing whether it was a boy or a girl.
When I was in the hospital, waiting, you know, when the first lad was born, there was a bloke in there, and he was excited, you know, his wife was in having his first baby, and then when I saw him later, he was gutted. Because
well, I was going to say, some cultures, boy children are much more desirable than female children.
He was Asian, this lad. He was only a young lad, he was only about 22, and it was her first kid, so I thought there was plenty of time.
It used to be a big thing still in this country, isn't it? To have a boy, you know, carry the line down for the father. I mean, I think there's...
Henry VIII, getting rid of his wives, because we're having lads.
And thus began the Anglican Church. Kay, What about you? I mean, you've got 2 girls.
I've got 2 girls and I'm
Ever
absolutely
wanted a boy?
delighted. No, because you save so much money when you have the same sex. You don't have to buy new toys, you don't have to buy new clothes, you know, you don't have to redecorate the room. It's fantastic. Well, I think I absolutely agree with Sarah, actually. I mean,
you must know. I know. I can know several families.
It's a person.
But I know several families where they've had 3 is the number that seems to really start to chime. They've had 3 boys or 3 girls. Yeah. They want something different, and then I think it becomes really interesting. Do you try again? And if you were to have the same sex again, would there be? And I'm hoping you guys at home can answer it. A pang of disappointment.
Absolutely
Does that mean that you would then love the child less?
I know people don't like you saying this because you think, well, you were just saying that. But I mean, the chances of me having a 3rd child, you know, there's more chance of it beaming down from Mars, frankly. But, you know, I absolutely would not care whether it was a boy or a girl.
I think it is. There's some people do have a sort of perhaps an issue with the sex of a child, but I'm amazed that people who've got children care.
Yeah.
I can see before you have children that you might say, what I want is a boy and then a girl, or a girl and then a boy, or only this. But once you've got children, I kind of think it's amazing because actually...
You won't send them back,
even when they're annoying at 3 o'clock this morning going, Mummy, Mummy...
My partner did want a boy first time.
OK, because that's the other issue is what happens if the partner has a view and you don't. It's interesting that nobody seems to care. Certainly people I know definitely do. Let's throw it open to you. And maybe someone out there can actually admit to hold their hand up to feeling gender disappointment, or GD, as they call it in America. OK, what do people have to say then, Beth?
OK, we've got Irene from Essex on.
Irene, good morning. Morning, Irene. No, we've lost Irene.
She's
probably gone to care for a boy. You're right there, Beth.
We've got Irene back on
have we?
line 1. Yep.
Hello, Irene.
Hello.
Hello, excellent. So what have you got? It's like being in a time warp.
I did have 5 daughters.
Right. Did you want a boy? Irene, turn your telly off.
Yeah.
Irene.
Get one of the kids.
We'll come back to. I'm not going to be mean to Irene in case Digital Spy slag me off for it. So you try and turn your telly off. Follow the basic instructions that you were given when you came on, and let's take somebody else, please, Beth. Sue, good morning. Morning,
Hello.
Sue. Hi.
Hello.
So what have you got?
I've got 7 girls.
7?
Oh, my goodness.
Did you at ever, any point along that 7, want a boy?
Yes, I would desperately have liked a boy. But as each one was born, when I was told that it was a girl, it was just, oh, never mind, it's a girl. They're all loved just as much. And I don't think a boy would have been loved any more than the girls are loved.
But you had a pang of disappointment when you were told? Is that, or is that over?
Just that little bit.
Would you...
Oh, well. But in saying that, as I was pregnant with each of them, I felt, oh, this is a girl again. Never mind. You know, it's... So, when I was told, it wasn't really a surprise because I think I felt that was going to be a girl as I was carrying her.
But would you have wanted to have 7 children, even if they'd been boys and girls and boys and girls? Would you? Is it a big family you wanted?
Yes, the chances are I would have done because I just love kids anyway. So I think if number 2 had have turned out to be a boy, admittedly, as I did deliver number 2, I remember thinking, I'm not doing this again.
So are you saying, Sue, because my tax pounds, you know, they're very precious to me. Are you saying that if you had a boy at number 2, there was a chance that another 5 might not have followed?
I'm not saying it had been 5, but I don't think I'd have stopped at 2. I've always wanted a big family. I'm not from a big family. I've only got a brother and a sister. So I only come from a family of 3.
That's a big family. It's one more than you need.
And I've got all daughters, and my parents only ever had 1 grandson. My sister's got a boy. My brother has got 2 daughters. But the next generation have gone on to have all boys. I've got 1 granddaughter, 3 grandsons. My sister's got a grandson, and my brother has got 2 grandsons. So there is only 1 great-granddaughter, and God knows how many grandsons, great-grandsons.
This is the trouble, you see, you breed and produce so many children, you can't actually follow all the relationships. It must be so complicated. You know, it's so hard for me and my sister. It's her birthday or it's my birthday, you know, it's easy. She's my sister, I'm her brother. We both have a mum and dad. The end. OK, thank you for that, Sue. Let's have another.
We've got Neil from Slough on line 3.
Neil, good morning.
Hello, how you doing, Matthew?
I'm very well, thanks. Have you ever had gender disappointment?
No. I've only got one daughter, unfortunately. Well, no. No.
Say how you feel, Neil.
Basically, everyone wants boys, right?
Go on.
Me and my brother have both had little girls, and we're so happy. My mum, she had 3 boys, so she was stuck with all 3 of us, and she inherited 2 boys. So she just waited a little bit of time, and then she got 2 granddaughters. Now, brilliant. So I don't get this gender disappointment, especially when people want boys. I mean, it's just, having a daughter is so fantastic. It's just amazing.
How old is she?
My daughter's 13, my niece is 2, and it's great. I don't know why there's all this thing about having boys. I mean, they're just brilliant.
Well, I suppose, I mean, for a lot of people...
Boys are great as well.
Boys are the ones that carry the family name down the line.
They can hyphenate the name, can't they?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of... That's the 21st century variation, but do you wonder what it will be like 100 years down the line when so-and-so with a double-barrel name and so-and-so with a double-barrel name don't get married and have children, will have 4 surnames?
And it won't seem as posh either from Slough, will it?
Neil, thank you for the call. And our audience, please, Eric, what do they have to
OK,
say?
well, Kelly next to me already has a child, but would you keep trying until you get the sex you want?
What have you got? What have you got?
One little boy.
One little boy.
Yeah.
Would you like a girl to balance it out?
Maybe.
Have you got brothers and sisters yourself?
2 brothers.
And you only think maybe, because I...
It's more about time management. You know, say if you had, like, I don't know, 6 kids, how are you going to do all the homework and do all the hobbies? And that's what I would think about. So I probably would put a cap on it.
But... That's one solution, I suppose. I mean...
My friends are watching this as well.
Because you've got brothers, I think of myself as really lucky that I grew up with a sister, because I think a boy-girl mix, I'm sorry about this, Sarah, I think a boy-girl mix is good. Well, it's good for boys, and I think it can be good for girls.
You know, I agree, it's lovely, but, you know, life gives you what you get, don't you? So I kind of think, I think it's awful that anyone would... I mean, bearing in mind you can't do anything about it, you get what you're given, and that's lovely. But yeah, I mean, I suppose if you were going to choose the best environment for a child to grow up in, I guess ideally there would be boys and girls, but you know, you can't choose. So, so you kind of...
But you can have an inferior family of just one sex.
No, but they've got me, you see, and I can cover all
to balance
the girls,
it out.
yes.
To balance it out. Let's take another call, please, Beth.
OK, we've got Leanne from line
Leanne, good morning.
6.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Do you have a whole lot of boys, a whole lot of girls? What have you got?
I have both. I have a sister and a brother.
Yeah.
And I'm the second child, but I don't feel like I've ever been, like, left out, because in my sort of situation, being born the way that I was born, it's not really a big deal, because my mum and my dad both, like, wanted us both, so we wasn't really, like, it's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? OK, because everyone keeps saying it's not a big deal, but I know people who definitely think it is a big deal.
When they've already got children?
No. I think if you've got a good parent, they should bring you up and respect you and want you for who you are, not for your sex.
I'll confess I was quietly happy when I had boys, only because...
Football.
And also saved a few quid, you know, hand-me-downs, I imagine, but that isn't the truth, because my missus will go and buy them all new stuff anyway. You know, and what they do now, my kids, is they pretend that the feet are getting too small, just so they can have a new pair of trainers.
Brilliant.
So I'm sure they're wearing, like, football boots that are 3 sizes too big.
I wonder where they get that idea from.
But it was, it was all that stuff about, well, you know, selfishly, I've got someone to take to the football with me, someone who can outvote her on what we watch on the telly.
That's the problem. This is what I say. tell you what, my friend who's a mum with 2 teenage boys and saying that she now feels like a sort of prisoner in her own home, unable to have any kind of female chat at all. It's just boys, blokes, stuff all the time.
I think it probably depends on what kind of a person you are as to whether you really need female. I imagine that, for instance, Victoria Beckham, she's quite a female sort of girl and likes shopping, and so I would imagine that she would sort of want
she
to
also
sell
likes
more.
male attention, so
Which
she probably likes to have
Yeah.
adoring men all around
I mean,
her.
my partner, she's really happy that she's got boys rather than girls.
OK, OK. Good. Well, that's that done and dusted for now. But it does feed in very nicely to our final talking point of the day, which was, would you miss men if we were gone? And now scientists can create sperm from flakes of human skin. The humble male has got to be in danger of extinction. But what would you miss if we were gone? Who else, OK? Who else can leave the Lucy up, burp and fart at will but men? Who else can bore for Britain about football? Who else is up for random acts of violence? 0207 173 5555 is the number of your thoughts. If the simple male became extinct, what would you miss most about us? Your shout after the break.
What percentage of men reckon they do more chores than their partner? 31, 51 or 81%?